everyone, welcome to my first ever video. It does feel really good to have finally done it. So when I tell you over the last 3 weeks, every evening after putting my son to bed and spending night after night watching tutorials on how to edit videos, clip them, make an intro, add music, it's been really fun. And it's just been such a fun learning experience. And yeah, it's something I look forward to developing and making better content as the years go on. It's also something that's actually reignited my passion for playing The Sims. So a lot of us will admit that sometimes, we can get a little bit burnt out from playing The Sims. So creating videos has been something that I've wanted to do for a long time. And, I'm talking about a couple of years now. Just sort of given me a bit of a purpose again, especially when it comes to builds. And hopefully, as my channel progresses and hopefully grows, that is the end goal, is that hopefully, we can create some form of community, but hopefully, I can then dabble in the world of Let's Plays, and it wouldn't just be about builds. I can try alternative things. It is probably mostly Sims related, but who knows? It's still early days. This is my first video, and I have got a confession. I'm probably not even ready to put out my first video, because I don't know if you can tell with the audio, but I'm using my phone as my microphone. Funny enough, I've actually had to put an app on my phone, and I've had to put an app on my computer, and then I've had to connect them via the Wi-Fi just to be able to obviously make an audio for this video. And actually, in hindsight, I probably should have waited until I had gotten a better microphone, but I was just so impatient and so excited to just get my first video out there. I think, like I said, I've been doing this now for about 3 weeks, and I started because I saw quite a few stop motion videos on, I think it was TikTok and Instagram, and I said to my husband, I was like, I want to do that, and I want to know how to do that. And then I fell into the rabbit hole of learning how to do it, and then so I've been dabbling in a few videos there, and then I wasn't going to put any voiceovers on any of my videos. And then it wasn't until I think it was about a week and a half after my first video, I thought, no, actually, I will put a voiceover up. And then it's just been really addictive. During my spare time, I make builds, and then I'll do a stop motion. I usually film all of my stop motion and the building of that stop motion video. So I'll film the whole actual build and think to myself, I'll do a speed build with this. And then it comes to it, and then I chicken out, or I don't chicken out, or I think to myself, no, actually, I'll do it to the next one. I'll do it for the next one. And the next one just never comes. So I just thought, again, as I said in the beginning of the video, I'm just going to take the plunge. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to, rip the Band-Aid off. And yeah, it's actually been really fun. Like I said, the researching and looking into how to do the videos, it's taken a lot of my time. Just kind of learning how to do the stop motions. I remember one stop motion took me a whole evening. My first one actually took me the whole evening, and then as I progressed, I kind of got a bit better, and I understood what I was doing. I understood the process a bit better. So yeah, it's just been fun. It's just been something that I've needed desperately for a long time, to really sink my creative teeth into something and try something new and experience and experiment something new, and just have fun with it. And like I said, and I keep saying this, I'm just really enjoying it. The voiceover part, I'm still getting used to, admittedly. Like, I'm doing this voiceover at the minute. I am so bashful and I'm so nervous, and I have no idea what to say. But I think that's part of the experience, and it does make me laugh, really. And going back to the whole recording with my phone, in a couple of years' time, I think I'm going to look back on this video and think, oh my God, like, did I really think that was a good idea? But yeah, it's just rip the Band-Aid off, I guess. I do definitely think, though, that I should probably jump into the builds now, rather than babbling about myself. I think I should just jump into the build. So I wanted to do a Tomerang HONEYMOON holiday home. So it is a holiday rental in the actual lot description. But I found this picture online, and the first picture that I found is the huge double doors overlooking the swimming pool. And it's from the kitchen perspective, and it was this long pool, which is obviously what we've done in the build, but it was this long pool, and behind the pool was this ocean. It was just this ocean view, and I thought to myself, when I looked at it, I thought, oh my God, I have to put that in Tomerang. And I think this is probably one of the first times that I had a really clear image of what I wanted to build, how I wanted to build it. And then when I clicked further onto the pictures, you know, sort of the company's stock pictures popped up. And there was a lot more pictures, obviously, that I could use for referencing. And with that, it was this bathroom, and it had this huge sleek tub, and behind that there was these wicker windows. Wicker, I think, is the wrong word, but there were these textured, they weren't even proper windows, and I just thought it looked beautiful. And I always struggle with bathrooms. For some reason, bathrooms are just not my strength. With bathrooms, out of all the rooms, I find bathrooms the hardest. And I don't know if it's because they're repetitive, but I either do the bathrooms too big or too small, or too long or too thin. There's just never a right balance. And I don't know if that's because I don't have half a tile walls. I don't know if it's because of that, and I'm just missing that extra space. And if I had that extra space, it would be less claustrophobic. I just had this clear vision, like I keep saying. And also with the bathroom as well, for this build specifically, and it wasn't in the reference picture, I wanted each room to have access to the back area. So obviously I've got the 2 double doors, as you can see here, one for the lounge and one for the bedroom. And then for the bathroom, what I've done is I've actually created an outdoor shower, which is obviously undercover. But it just means that there's a bit of a flow to the house, and that there's a bit of a flow for the inside and outside. Of course, this house doesn't have to be a holiday house. It doesn't. All you have to do is just go in and change it. I have kept the clutter to a minimum. And the reason why I have kept it to a minimum is, one, because obviously being a holiday home, I didn't want to personalize it too much. And also two, you know, with the Sims lots, a lot of the time when you do over clutter or have a lot of items on a lot, the lot sometimes lags. So yeah, I just wanted to avoid that when I was doing this. Here I was just trying to figure out what worked, because I know I've actually kept a lot of the living arrangements quite small. I was toying with the idea of putting a bar in here. I was also toying with the idea of, you know, kind of really keeping the furnishings to a bare minimal. But then I just kind of thought, obviously, because this isn't a full home, and because of the location that you're in as well, I think your Sims will be spending a lot of time outside. They'd be spending a lot of time in the pool. They'd probably be exploring the caves. And so I just really wanted to, you know, kind of keep the inside a lot more minimal than what I would, you know, normally focus on a lounge or living area. And I also think that it's around about now that I actually look at the ceiling and I think, no, that open top ceiling has got to go. I just realised that the only problem is that having an open top ceiling, I think it's beautiful, especially when you look down and you see this beam going across. But the problem is that when you go first person and look up, it's then obviously that blue colour. It would be really, I thought it was great when they brought in that you could colour the ceilings. I thought that just made a complete game changer. It could bring in so much texture and changes to your builds. The only problem is that it's the roofing now. So I would have loved to have been able to put like a slat roof on there, or wood paneling, to just kind of make it more textured. But instead, obviously, when you look up, it just doesn't look right. So yeah, I changed it. I don't know if you can see it now or if it's coming up soon, but I definitely put in a ceiling again, and then I also put the wood paneling on top of that ceiling, and I do think it makes such a difference. I am really proud of this build. I do gravitate more towards the smaller side of the builds. I think I see so many YouTubers building these huge, you know, houses. Not even YouTubers. I'm on this Facebook page as well for the building ideas and references, and some simmers, they build these huge grand houses, and I'm just in awe, because I don't know, I might challenge myself to do it one day, and I've definitely built some bigger houses, but for some reason I do just gravitate towards the smaller side of builds. So then as I'm looking here to try and put a dining room table, even now looking back at this, and when I've looked back at it in the gallery, I have actually questioned, why have I put such a large dining table in the living area? But then I also think back to the times that I have actually gone to holiday rentals before. There is always this grand table, and I actually thought it does tie in everything quite nicely. The sports kit of which I bought it from, I have actually avoided buying this pack because I thought I would never use it. And actually the coffee table, the dining table that you can see here, all of the other textures that you get for the walls, I actually use this pack so much more than what I thought I would, and I'm really cross with myself because I waited for so long to buy it. And in reality, actually a lot of the items that are in that pack I use quite often in my builds now. So yeah, so here I am just doing the bedroom. I'm just trying to work out where to put what size rug to put in, where to put the furniture. And again, what were the bedrooms? I just wanted to keep it quite minimal. I didn't want to overcomplicate things again. And then I was thinking, gosh, what do I put in such a large bedroom? Especially when it's not a personal bedroom. And then I remember that, kind of on holiday, you usually get that seat, don't you? That one seat that usually gets all your cases and usually comes with a phone. That reminds me, actually, talking about phones, I had such an idea that, kind of The Sims should definitely look at bringing back landlines, but also newspapers, because I think it would be such a good idea for in the future for people when they do generational challenge. It would be really handy to then switch off that you use your mobile phone, but instead of having a mobile phone you can have a newspaper delivered every day, and you would get the same features as what you would get, say, with your mobile phone, but you would just click your newspaper, and again with your landline as well, and I think that would tie in really well. But yeah, I just went off on a bit of a tangent because I was thinking here it'd be so handy to have a landline. But in the end, I think, yeah, I went for this little tea set, which is quite nice. Again, with the entryway, I did sort of struggle in the sense of what shall I put here? How shall I decorate it? I didn't want to make it too formal. I also didn't want to make it too crazy. So I definitely had a play around with a couple of things. And I also didn't want to put too many artworks up because when you think about it, the size of the windows, and also because this is a private road that I am building on, when you look around, there isn't actually much going on around you. And I just thought to myself, instead of having all this artwork on the walls, actually the greenery around the place is so vibrant and so beautiful that actually I thought it was art in itself. So yeah, I just didn't want to, put loads of different artworks on there. So the entryway was definitely more challenging in the sense of just trying to keep it simple. Yeah, so I just went round, bent in the roofs a bit more. It's like it just then overspills onto the landscape. But then actually I think having the bar there is actually a nice twist. And I find that as I progress in a build, rather than sticking with one room at a time, I usually flip between each rooms because I just want to make sure that I'm going for the same vibe throughout the house. And that is one of my biggest problems, actually. I would say that's probably one of my biggest flaws, is that maybe when I start recording myself, I do need to be a bit more consistent in just focusing on one room. So yeah, I'm just going around now doing a bit of landscaping. I don't mind landscaping. I definitely never used to landscape, especially when I first started doing builds in The Sims 4. The Sims 2, I did a little bit of landscaping, but I think The Sims 2, you could sort of get away with not landscaping as much. But then again, I'm talking, I was 15 years younger, so I probably didn't actually do that. No, I was more than 15 years. Oh my God, I'm so old. But yeah, I've been having a play around with landscaping, and yeah, I just wanted again to keep it just simple. I wanted to blend it in with the outside areas. So I find that with this pack that has Sims 4 for rent, a lot of the landscape is exactly the same as what you get on Islands Living. So a lot of the plants, I haven't actually got it from debug menu. I've actually gotten it from just the regular menu, using the Islands Living pack. So yeah, I just wanted to blend it in with the outside surroundings. So yeah, again, going back to this room, when I tell you I struggled, I just didn't know what to do for the entry. I know I ended up settling for just keeping it quite dark. I didn't, again, want to just go overboard with the decorations. And as you can see, these huge windows in the back, I didn't want to take away emphasis on that view that you've got as soon as you walk into this apartment. I say apartment, it's not an apartment, this bungalow. As soon as you walk into this bungalow, I didn't want to take away the beauty from what's behind those windows. I find the debug menu really handy, especially when you do want to put a few additional things in. I didn't actually realise, well, I did realise, but I completely forgot that I didn't have to go through the debug menu just to get these little suitcases out. I could have actually just kept it quite simple. And when I tell you as well, I cut out about 10 minutes worth of footage. I was spending forever trying to find this ice, the wine on ice that you get from when you have your first date and you get a gold and you get the wine and it's in the ice bucket. I spent so long trying to find it, and I just wanted to make it feel as though you've just finished getting married, you're coming away on your trip. And yeah, those are the touches that I wanted to place in the build. So I am just coming to the end now. I'm just putting on these greeneries because, again, I just wanted to keep it lush and vibrant and really quite colourful, and just try and, with the contrast of the black, I just wanted to keep things, quite simple. These vines that you get from Jungle Adventure, I just find they are perfect for a lot of builds. I just think they bring so much life and so much vibrancy to any builds that you do. I do use them quite often, and I actually thought they went really well with this build. It just breaks up that black box, it just gives texture, it just gives that pop of colour, but it also blends in with the surrounding scenery, and I am really quite proud of it. I'm just about now coming to the end of this video. I am so grateful for you for watching this video. It is definitely awkward because it is my first video, so I will get better, especially with things to say and my editing, and definitely getting a new microphone, so improvements will be definitely coming. So as we jump into this build, I'm really proud of it. The entryway I have kept very simple because I thought, well, you're not going to be spending too much time there. But this bathroom is probably one of my favourite bathrooms. The contrast in the greenery. I wanted to keep the toilet separately. And this shower as well just kind of came just after I started building the original bathroom idea. And as you can see, there's an entry onto the main swimming area. If you come into the main room, again, I just wanted to keep it simple because I didn't think really that you'd be spending too much time in here. So there is a full kitchen set for you to do your foods and to make sure that you feed your sim. And then coming into the bedroom where all the magic happens. I just love it. I really love how this all turns out. So yeah, I hope you like it. This is available on my gallery at simlystephh. So I hope you'll join me for future adventures and watching me grow and develop as a creator. And I will get